got a 94 Ford Escort 1.9 engine. The complaint is it will crank but it won't start. So we're going to show you how to diagnose this and fix it. Okay, when we try to confirm this, we crank the engine. It doesn't start, but if you'll also notice there's no dash lights. So we're going to go to the fuse box and see why we don't have dash lights. We looked over the engine compartment, didn't see anything out of line there, so we're going to test the circuits. Best way I like to do that is with the power probe. If you've never used one, we'll show you how. You basically hook up the connector to the battery. When you do that on the power probe, now you've got a multimeter here and a rocker arm. That rocker arm will give you power or ground at the tip, and you've also got an extra ground right here. We're going to use that to diagnose this. We used our power probe to test the fuses, and we noticed that we had power on all the fuses that we're supposed to, except this one. This is the engine fuse, and it had ground on both sides. When you look at the fuse box indicator, it shows that this fuse is for the engine, 15 amp. It should have power with key on. Let's look at the wiring diagram. Now as you look at the wiring diagram, you'll see the engine fuse, which is in the instrument panel, should be hot in start or run. It's a 15 amp. That should be hot with the key on, feeds the black and white wire that feeds the PCM power relay. So again, this fuse should have power with key on, and it doesn't. The green light is indicating that we have ground, and you can read the voltmeter. It says there's 0 volts. Now where does that fuse get its power? Back to the wiring diagram. Now the ignition switch, which is hot at all times, when rotated to the run position, should send power out through the dark blue wire, which goes to the power distribution, or the fuse box. It also sends power out to the coils. So we need to see if we have power on this dark blue wire. We take our covers off so we can gain access to the ignition switch, which is right here. The blue wire should be feeding power to the power distribution box. So we're going to go to the blue wire, and using the power probe again, we can see this green means it's ground. If we read the voltage, there's no voltage. So we have no voltage at that blue wire. Now that blue wire should feed the engine fuse, which powers the power control module. Now to test this to see if it'll work, we're going to use a test light at this fuse. Now the test light clip is on ground, and the test light is the fuse, and the test light is not lit up, so there's no power. But if I come over here with my power probe and go to the blue wire, now if we give that blue wire power, it's got ground, we give it power, you notice our test light lights.
Do it again.
So if this theory is right and electrical diagrams are right, if I give this blue wire power, I'm on ground, but if I throw my rocker forward, I give it power, turn the key, vehicle starts and runs. So this blue wire is feeding the fuse box, which feeds the power control module. So we need a new ignition switch. The old ignition switch is up there, and here's a new one we've got. We've got it unplugged. We're going to plug the new ignition switch in. Now we have to use a screwdriver in here. Starts and runs. So that confirms the ignition switch is bad. The blue wire, it was our problem.